Welcome to the Hey Hot Mama podcast. I'm Jen Peralt, founder of Hot Off the Rack and Hot Mama Collective.
And I'm Liz Guidotti, Jen's mom, also known as the OG Hot Mama.
We're a mother-daughter duo having real conversations about motherhood, health, life, and finding more joy in the everyday moments.
And Jenni is known for her positive outlook and daily gratitude practice. And together, we're here to share stories, perspective shifts, and plenty of laughs along the way.
Because at the end of the day, we all deserve to feel like the hot mamas we truly are. Welcome to the Hey Hot Mama podcast. I'm your host, Jen Peralt of Hot Off the Rack and Hot Mama Collective.
And I'm Liz Guidotti, but most people just know me as Jenni's mom.
Did you do your homework, your gratitude homework?
I did. And did you do your workout?
I
And
did.
wait. Let me clarify workout. You can't just go to the gym. Did you actually exert effort?
I did.
And get a
I went
result.
to my
Okay.
I went to my Tuesday class. Shout out to my girls, Casey, Elena, Bridget, Courtney, and Becca.
Girls, I'd like to thank you. That's the only way Jen's getting in
you
there.
really need to thank them, and let me tell you
Wait,
why.
just one day? It's good. It's good.
Again, I did a walk yesterday, but listen,
Okay.
the reason why we really have to thank them is because I show up literally right as the class is starting, and they set up my whole area for me. They put out my weights. They know I don't like them too heavy.
Yes.
They grab my bands. They put my step out. They
Listen,
do all the
I'm just
things.
surprised you show up on time. So
I do.
Uh,
Not every single Tuesday, but almost every single Tuesday, I do this class. And in fact, I want you to come with me.
consistency more.
I want you to come with me next Tuesday because I think you'd love it. It is, it's really only supposed to be 30 minutes, but the new lady likes to go like
Doesn't make you work
15
more.
minutes overtime. Yes, don't get
The
me wrong. She's
abuse,
the
the
best.
abuse
She's the
of
best.
her.
Honestly, she looks like so much fun.
Okay.
Like she makes the class so much fun. I'd love
Yeah.
to go out with her one day.
Oh,
I think she'd
why
be,
not just go to
I
another
think
class
she would
that
be
she
really
teaches?
great.
How about if you just go to another class that she
or,
teaches? That would be
I'm
more fun.
thinking margaritas because actually that's what we have today. We've got ourselves some skinny margs. I made them fresh right before I came. And let's do a timestamp. Would you
Okay.
mind? You've never done a timestamp with me?
No.
Okay. It's something I like to do to stamp it in my brain, right? So when I'm going through a rough time, I can go back to these timestamps of a really good time. So tell
And
me
go,
what time it
this
is, please.
happened.
Check your
It
phone.
is,
Check your phone.
you're a little late. So if I'm checking my phone, it says 12:18.
It is 12:18 on a Monday. We're drinking skinny margaritas, fresh skinny margaritas that I made.
And skinny margaritas. I like that.
And we're sitting here recording our fourth podcast.
Yes, our fourth podcast. And I wrote in my journal for the
Yeah.
first time.
Let's hear what you
okay,
wrote.
okay. And you said I could do it any way I wanted, so you cannot
Okay,
judge me
let's
on
hear
this.
what you
All right.
wrote.
So first I wrote good things that happened. And something good that happened was I took Beck and Brooks to see their great-grandparents, and it was so much fun to watch Beck do a crossword puzzle with his great-grandmother. So that was a good thing that I enjoyed watching. Now, I also put good things that I would like to see happen. I would like to see myself win at tennis tonight, and I would like to see Jenni fold and put away all of the clothes.
That the clothes is probably not going to happen. I've just decided that I'm going to buy
Let me dream.
3
Please
laundry
give me hope.
baskets, and everybody's going to have their own designated laundry basket. And when it comes out of the dryer, I'm going to throw it in that laundry basket.
Why
and
not
that's
throw
theirs.
it folded in there?
No.
You can just pull it out there.
It's
Okay.
a waste.
All right.
Have you seen what Brooks goes in there
Yeah,
and
I
does?
have.
You know.
I have.
You
That's
know.
probably a teachable moment for him, but we'll do that in another podcast.
Yeah,
And
well,
maybe in your therapy.
In my
one of the
therapy,
two.
we're so excited for today's episode because we're going to have a lot of fun in today's episode. Why? Because we have margaritas.
Yes, that will help.
And secondly, because we know what people want to hear more about, and that is our generational differences. And so let's unpack some things here. I've got a question for you.
Okay.
What is something that we do as parents today that you think is absolutely ridiculous?
I can only give one
Well,
answer.
only one right
Okay.
now.
All
Let's
right,
start with one.
I'll try to condense it to one. I guess my question is when, and where? Where was I when things changed? And you now ask a child to do something rather than tell the child to do something. I was with Beck and Brooks taking them Saturday for you while you went out with your husband.
Thank you.
And I was taking them to church. Well, we were going to go to the playground first, then to church, and then out to dinner with Lolo and Pop. So we drove to Baton Rouge. They did sleep on the way to Baton Rouge. And by the time we got to the parking lot, I had to go to the bathroom so bad. But they were sleeping in the car.
Okay,
All
what
right.
did you do?
Well, I let them finish. I let them wake up slowly.
Okay.
Once I saw them wake up, though, I hopped back there and I said, all right, Beck, we're putting our shoes on and we're going into the bathroom. And I started to put his shoes on and he starts crying. And I'm like, what? What's wrong? He goes, you didn't even ask me if you could put on my shoes. And I felt like I was having an outer body experience.
Okay, but I love it because
no.
boundaries.
No.
He knows
No.
if he doesn't, if he
Not
didn't
boundaries.
want something happening to him and you didn't ask him.
Not boundaries.
I'm
these
proud.
kids,
I'm taking a sip to that.
These kids suck the life out of me, and yet I have to ask permission to put on the shoes so I can go to the bathroom. They contribute nothing to my well-being, but yet I have to ask permission of a 5-year-old. No, Jenny.
Oh, I think it's great. I'm really glad that you told me that story. And while I can maybe see that you think it's completely ridiculous, I am proud of our generation for really
I don't see it.
breaking down these barriers and teaching our kids for ourselves to have these boundaries. And you know what?
Now,
He didn't want you to put his shoes on him?
Boundaries to me are choices like, do you want a glass of water with or without ice? And then you let them choose that.
He's 5 now, though. So that's at the age where he's like, wait a second. Like, you didn't say, can I put your shoes on
Jenny,
you?
I had to go to the bathroom. That trumps a 5-year-old's boundaries, okay? All right. So
that is true.
let's
when
just
you're
say
62 years old.
I don't know when that
thank
changed.
Thank goodness we've got the vagina whisperer coming onto the podcast soon because she's going to talk to us about
you think
going to the bathroom
that we can
and
merge
it.
a 5-year-old asking and a 62-year-old who has to go to the bathroom.
So back in your day, was anyone discussing emotional regulation, gentle parenting, anything of that nature?
Oh, let me think. No. Wait a minute. No. The only thing is when I was coaching you as a cheerleader.
Okay.
I didn't want to be your coach and also have to tell you, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. As a parent, I also wanted to enjoy watching you as a sport and just encourage you.
Yeah.
So at that point, when I saw you doing something wrong, I probably went over to the other coach and said, please go over there and tell Jenny to get her arm straight. And if you don't, you will rip it off or something. So that was gentle.
Yeah.
Gentle, something like that.
I told you before, I think that you were slightly gentle. And you know what's really funny? I watched this video the other day that this girl was like, stop beating yourself up about losing it in front of your kids or losing it on your kids because you want to do it just enough to make them funny, right? And when I say make them funny, meaning like, you give them just the right amount of emotional trauma to where it's funny. And I don't mean emotional trauma where you're hurting them. I mean like, sometimes you yell or sometimes I'll yell at the boys and then they're going upstairs laughing their asses off, making fun of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's actually really funny.
Yeah.
I instead of
bonding over that kind of.
Bonding
of
over
course,
like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
did you see her freak out on you like that? I love it.
Yeah. And that's how it should be. Now, this emotional regulation, Jenny, I feel like, what does that even mean? I feel like your generation just like takes some words and puts them together and says, okay, now that it's going to mean this. Emotional regulation.
Emotional regulation. I don't know if that's something that I'm really good at. Okay, actually, I take that back. I think I am good at emotional regulation. I don't know.
I think I missed that in your childhood.
No. I feel like this is tough for me because I'm a solutions person. And I think you're a solutions person too. And I think
like we just come to our solutions in different ways.
Well, but I feel like when people come to me, they don't come to me as a shoulder to cry on. They come to me as a solutions person. So, anytime a friend has a problem, I don't think that when they come to me, they're coming for me to just be like, oh yeah, like I validate everything that you say. That sucks. Like, and I'm not saying that their feelings aren't valid,
yes.
But I'm like, I totally get where you're coming from. What are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
And as far as
wait, is that an emotional regulation?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
See
what I'm saying
Maybe
about
we don't
y'all
even know what we're talking about. Maybe I don't even know what emotional regulation is.
How y'all just put words
together. I think
together.
that emotional regulation is.
But I like this. We're developing a
I
definition.
figured it out. I know what it is. Okay, I know what it is. So you know how toddlers don't have control over their emotions. They have big emotions. And so sometimes they need you to regulate that.
Oh, and to tell them what that emotion is.
Well, no, instead of you
Okay.
meeting them at their tantrum and having a loud
And trying to
voice
shut
as
it
well.
down.
Yeah, instead you're like, hey,
This is how you're feeling.
let's talk about this. Like, what's making you upset? Instead of just being like, hey, we don't cry, we don't whine, go sit in your room. It's like, or it's like, hey, do you need a minute? Let's take some deep breaths. We're regulating these emotions. Okay, see, I'm not that dumb. You know it.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
You pulled it together.
I did pull it together.
You pulled off a definition. I applaud you. I applaud you.
And I don't know what you did with us. And speaking of, I mean, actually, I do know a little bit of what you did. But what is something you did as a parent that you are shocked we survived?
Okay. I think I'm shocked that you survived or ADD. And by you surviving it, I mean surviving my decision that I made to handle your ADD. Because as parents, when we're dealt with difficult situations, we just have to come up with a solution of what we think is right for a child to thrive and then for their future well-being. So it's a lot.
Well, tell them how you found out that I.
As a child, as a baby, you stopped taking naps at 1 year old.
At 2.5, you got kicked out of your daycare that you were in. Yeah, I know. That was painful to go through that. And then you couldn't keep still, but I kind of thought it was normal. I thought I was bad parenting.
Maybe you were.
I will take some of the blame.
Well, you also have
But
ADD.
then-
So this
but-
is
well,
an
hold up,
ADD
hold up,
person
hold up,
raising
hold
an
up,
ADD
hold up.
person.
Do not diagnose me.
You have it. Okay, go ahead.
And so then by the time you got to 3rd grade, poor Miss Jewel, God love her, she was an amazing teacher. But one day she pulled me aside and she just said, I would like for you to consider getting Jenni tested for ADD. Her desk is literally pulled up by mine all day long. She distracts the kids. She distracts me. And I felt Miss Jewel's pain. I said, I get it.
Doing that
I understand.
to this day, honestly.
So I did.
But yeah, so
at
tell
the
them,
time,
yeah.
at the time, I was caught with my job. I was calling on psychiatrists. So I knew a really good child psychiatrist who specialized in ADD. So I said, all right, I'm going to take you there.
Wait, hold on. Tell people what you mean when you say that you're calling on psychiatrists.
Well, with my pharmaceutical job.
yeah, so you're a pharmaceutical sales rep. So you were selling medicine
Correct.
to these psych doctors.
And,
Okay.
Yes. And he was one of the doctors that I called on. So I knew him well and I knew I could trust him to totally evaluate the situation. We made an appointment. We went in. He gave you a test on the computer.
I remember
but
that
then
test.
He also, remember what you said about it? We'll talk
Yes,
about that
I
in a
do.
second. But then he also sat and talked to you and asked you about school. He asked you about friendships. He asked you what you enjoy doing. And he also did the same with me. So we got the whole picture. And at the end of the evaluation, he sat us both down and he said, my conclusion is, 1, I think I know where she got it from. And he looked at me.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, I would not medicate her because she has friends. She is well liked by people, maybe not her teachers, but most of her friends, she is well liked, and she is not struggling in school. She does well in school.
Well, let's define struggling in school. I needed additional help, not additional time. I wasn't as fortunate as some of the other students who did get additional time on their test and things like that. And you know why?
Wanted a
You know why?
diagnosis.
Because you wouldn't let me
so
have any of that. You told my teachers, you're like, nope, she doesn't get any extra help. And I did get a tutor. We had some extra resources to help me.
You did.
It also meant that you had to help me study a little bit more.
I
We
did
couldn't
have to
just
do that.
trust
I
that
did
I
have
was
to do
going to
that.
do
So
it on my own.
I did not think I was going to, still don't think I survived your ADD. So if you want to know who survived in childhood, I don't think it was me. I think I'm still traumatized. But let me have a sip of my margarita.
Have a
right now.
sip of your margarita.
I need it.
I don't know. Oh my God,
I know.
what's happening?
My microphone's attacking me. Hang on. I think it wants some margarita too.
Okay, I don't know if you
All right, I'm
were
back-
you
I'm
were
back
you
in.
finished with that because I have something.
let me just
let's see. Okay.
And the only other thing I wanted to say is I did go back to the school and I said, okay, here's the situation. Here's where we are. They don't want to medicate her. However, I am all in. Let's work together on this. I will do my part, trying to help her find her way and be less distracting to everybody. And let's work together on this.
I want to say that I feel like our generation would be really proud of that decision. That's why I say I feel like you had a little bit of a little bit of gentle parenting in you because you didn't just want to
See, that's your
do
positiveness.
what
That is your
society said. And
positiveness trying to
society
find it.
said medicine is the only way. And by the way,
Please know from both of us that neither of us are saying that medicine is bad. She consulted a doctor. He gave her the advice saying that he felt confident in me not taking medicine. And you study medicine, right? And now, speaking from an adult perspective, going my whole life without taking a medicine for ADD, I feel like it's a strength of mine. It's a strength. There's a bit of a weakness. But lots of times your weaknesses can also be your strength.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it gave me, it's really funny. Did you ever watch the movie Superstar with Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
And okay, do you remember when the grandma comes in and the
counselor is saying that she needs to be on Ritalin. And she's like, by golly, if God gave her extra energy, I'm not going to be the one to take it away from her. And I'm like, you know what? I agree with that. Why would we take away this extra energy? Do they need to channel their energy into something good? For sure. But I feel like I can do that. And I've learned how to do it better over the years. But all of this extra energy has allowed me to do so many things that would prevent other people from doing more. I am okay with our decision to not medicate me.
Oh, well, let's toast to that. Okay, we're surviving.
Drink,
All right,
margaritas.
Sip. The microphone didn't attack.
Mm-hmm.
But very good.
I think that our generation moms might like you.
All right.
But
okay,
also
well, no,
too,
because I got
but
more to say.
No, I know, but listen, let's just say this. Moms who do have your kids on medication, we totally understand. There are different circumstances for every child, and some children need that support. And it's always important to go consult a doctor.
Yeah, it's all about
or multiple doctors
information.
and knowing what's best for you and your kid.
Yes.
You're the mom. You know what's best for your kid. We are not telling you what's best. That worked for us. The doctor, he evaluated me.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't just say like, oh, don't give her medicine. We don't think anything is wrong with medicine. We're just saying this worked for us.
Because that's how your
because
mother
that's
makes a
she
living.
sells medicine, right? So we just want you to know that because we don't want anyone
Everything
to feel judged because you are the mom.
But it
you
goes
know what's
back
best for
to
your
what
kid.
I said. Parents have to make these difficult decisions.
Yeah.
What is the best decision for my child to thrive and then to set them up for success?
Are you glad that I think you made a good decision?
The jury's still out. All right. But I also then on Kate worried about her survival because
Kate's my younger sister.
Kate is the younger sister, and she didn't weigh anything. In fact, I don't even think she was on the chart. She was negative on the chart in her weight category. And then when she was about 5 or 6, she decided that she was only going to eat ramen noodles and Danimals, those little yogurt drinks.
And this goes against everything that you stand for because, y'all, she almost didn't even want to talk about this on the episode because she feels like it's exposing her because nutrition is so important to her. She was a dietitian. So for her kid to not eat anything, we had to beg Kate to eat.
We did, but there's another aspect to that. You also don't want to make eating a big deal. You don't want to
shame them.
You don't want to shame them. But you don't want to blow this up. You don't want to make it a big deal. You want to just kind of go with it and do little things where you can. With Kate, when she decided she wanted ramen noodles, I cooked an egg and snuck an egg in there and carrots in there. And she just...
Oh, yeah, and the ramen noodles, I remember.
And she just kind of thought, that's what ramen noodles look like, And then the Danimals were good. It added some yogurt. And then she would eat turkey. And so everything I fed her, I said it was turkey.
That's right. I remember. You called everything turkey.
So you just kind of worked with what you had. And the last thing that I hope y'all survived, I don't know if y'all survived it, but Beverly Hills 90210. That was my show. And I loved to watch it. And as you started to get older, I kind of wondered about the content because you would watch TV with me. But we didn't have the advantage of Netflix or this or that where you could watch it later. You had to watch it at 7 o'clock when it came on. And those were my friends. Those were my people. I was in high school with them. But now, the content, I look at the content now on 90210, and I think Miss Rachel says that on her show now.
Miss Rachel?
Yes, Miss Rachel is the
I
child
love Miss Rachel. Oh my gosh.
Well,
I love her.
I mean, compared to what's on TV now.
And when
it's
I say I love Miss Rachel, I mean that I don't know everything about Miss Rachel, but the show that she had, and I feel like that's what taught Brooks how to say so many things.
Yeah.
He loved Miss Rachel. Wait, going back to Kate not eating, I have to make sure that people know now that Kate is a great eater.
Oh, yeah.
She'll try anything now, and she loves to cook.
Yeah.
She's not picky whatsoever.
It was just a phase.
I think that it's important to mention for moms that it's okay to sometimes survival mode. It means that your kids have to eat the chicken nuggets and mac and cheese every night, and then one day they'll broaden their palate. But
it's not the end of the world.
No, it's not. We know, or we have to hope that one day they're going to eat more. But you're right. We don't want to shame them or make it a big deal. If they're eating, they're eating.
I just let it go and see how it works out.
I will say you did make a big deal of certain things to moi.
Well,
because
as I probably should have.
I don't know if we mentioned this in any other episodes, but the Oreos. Anytime we had Oreos at the house,
portion
she kept
control.
it at the top of the pantry, and I was only allowed to have two Oreos at once. That was it.
That is a serving.
It was the serving size.
That is a serving. Just like your cup of ice cream. You got a half a cup of ice. That is a serving. Portion control. You're welcome.
Okay. Well, speaking of portion control and Oreos and being judged about that, what is something you did as a parent when I was a kid that you would totally get judged for today? And I will not judge you for the past because that was the past.
Could I start off with an apology?
Sure.
Okay, because I feel like because I feel like nowadays everybody apologizes and it's okay. So
apologize.
Okay, apology. That's my apology.
Yeah, I don't really remember this happening, so you don't have to apologize to me.
Okay,
Maybe apologize to society.
No, and I honestly, if people had a Jenni, they would not judge me. They would understand.
Blake agrees with that.
Here's what happened. I put Jenni on a leash, and here is why. We went back to, we lived in California. My family lived in Baton Rouge. We came back, by the time you were 3, you had flown 9 times. We came back 3 times a year. Can you imagine taking a toddler from by yourself?
I wouldn't.
Carrying luggage, doing layovers. We flew to Dallas. We had a layover there. Then we had to catch our flight. I had to go to the bathroom at some point and change your diaper.
Joking.
And change your diaper, and then catch our flight and get you on the airplane, and then deal with the people that had to sit next to you. Okay, let me not relive that trauma. I'm very sorry. So yes, you had no boundaries in that airport, and you would just take off running, which is very scary to a parent filled with rushing people in a full airport and having to catch a flight. So yes, I put a leash on you. The first time I put the leash on you, you pulled it as far as you could go. You ripped it off and ran. And when I found you, you were underneath a chair eating like a Cheerio or something. So I leashed you back up and wrapped it a few times. And I had a stroller.
How did you do this for? How long was I on this leash for?
Well, until we got to our next gate.
I mean, like, how many times did you leash me up as a toddler?
I don't know.
Guys, she's really exposing herself here. We could get canceled from this episode.
I tried.
And you know what? Anybody who's listening, she is being very vulnerable with you and putting her heart out there. So if you try and cancel her, that's really rude. She is telling you that she knows this was wrong.
Okay, at the same time, no, I don't.
It was wrong.
Jenni, it was the right thing. What did you want to do? You would have been on another flight going to Thailand. Yes. You would have been with another family.
So you wanted me on the leash because you just didn't want to lose me.
Exactly.
You loved me. And you knew that nobody else could handle me. In fact, you know what? There was a phase of my life.
I'll have to have another.
There was a phase of my life that I was really terrified of getting kidnapped. But my mom convinced me that the kidnapper was going to send me back. He was going to send me back. He was going to pay.
He was going to pay me he was going to send you with money. Please, please. Don't ever let this happen again. No, you were never in danger. Yes, you thought you were a few times, and I was like, no, sweetie.
Yeah. Do you feel any...
I have to have you because you're my child.
Do you feel any guilt about the leash? Do you feel... Everyone's watching you right now. Do you feel any guilt?
No.
Okay, fine. No. Would you let me put my kids on a leash now?
Yeah, sure. If it meant you keeping
Mom,
them safe. What's wrong with the leash? What is wrong with the leash?
You know what? I think that cancel culture is
I
over, and thank
would
God.
love some feedback on this. I would love
they're
some.
coming for
I
you.
would love some. No,
They're coming for you.
I'm thinking I'm going to get support.
I don't think you are.
I'm feeling
I don't think you
supported
are.
right now.
I don't think you
Jonah,
are.
would you leash up your kids? Oh. Okay, we have a thought.
But he
We have a
wouldn't
thought.
do it.
You don't know.
Mom,
He said he thought about
Here's
it.
your
Okay.
chance to take it back. Now knowing you can say,
What happens if I don't take it back? Okay.
nobody's going to like you again. But if you
Why?
want to,
Okay, I would like time on this. Let's do time. Let's hear some feedback.
all the feedback is going
Because
to be like,
I don't think so.
we're not listening to
No.
that Hey Hot Mama podcast anymore because she
traumatized. Gee, are you on a leash? You know, I will say I am here today. So maybe the leash did work. You're here today because she did say that I would just run away. What?
And my kids don't run away. So I don't need to leash them.
Right.
And you know what? Maybe that's because our kids like us more. We are emotionally regulating them. And so they don't feel the need to run away from
Well,
us.
there you go. All right.
Yeah.
Good to know in my next lifetime.
Well, this brings me to my next question, because do you think that moms of the 90s feel as much guilt as moms do today?
Oh, I definitely thought moms in the 90s, my generation, felt more guilt. And here's why I think that. I think our mothers were not working. They were staying home with us,
so you
and we were not in daycare.
Oh.
And now we are putting our kids in daycare. And that is why I feel like there's more guilt. I certainly felt bad about it, and I did everything to get my kids out as soon as I could. And then I certainly was not going to put them back in daycare to go work
And
out.
you
or
felt
do
that way
anything else.
because your mom was always home with you. But
Exactly.
see, like, I don't feel that way. And I look at it too. I like that you worked. I feel like it was inspiring to me that my mom had a job and worked. Not that there is anything wrong with being a stay-at-home mom. In fact, shout out to the stay-at-home mom. Can you
They work
imagine
harder.
being a stay-at-home
work
mom?
harder.
I think they do.
Yeah.
I think they do. But I liked that you worked. And look at me. I
You know
like
what's
to work
crazy?
now. And okay, wait. So speaking of, so your mother was a stay-at-home mom. So
Yes.
you felt this guilt of like, oh, I feel so bad putting my kids in daycare because my mom didn't do that to us. But I look at it as my mom put us in daycare, school, whatever, so that she could go work and make a living. And I'm like, I want to do the same. Now my mom will drive all across town to come pick up my kids early from aftercare because she judges me. She thinks that I'm a horrible mom for putting my kids in aftercare. And I'm like, okay.
I wish you would try a little harder.
Do you want me to work or
I
not?
know. I wish you would try a little harder at that. Interesting, though. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, but yet she raised all of us to believe we needed to have a career. She wanted
Oh,
all
that's right.
of
And
us
you know
to
what?
have a career.
She wanted one.
She wanted one.
Lolo did. She had big dreams.
She did.
Lolo had
but
big
her
dreams.
generation was one that
Right.
stayed home.
In
So
fact,
there's
when
no
did Lolo
right-
learn how to drive? How old was she when she learned how to drive? Do you remember that? You don't remember that story about how she chased her dad down the driveway because she's like, please, I just want to learn.
That I do believe. She was the youngest of 9. But Jenny, I will say
Youngest of
this.
9. I thought she was the youngest of 11.
No.
Oh, that's my other grandmother.
Maybe it's
Dad's
yes,
mom.
Yes, yes. But I will say this. There's no right and there's no wrong. Stay-at-home mom is great and can work very well. And a working mom can also make it work too.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
and
we're all
what's-
moms who want the best for our kids. And sometimes that means working and sometimes that means staying at home.
The advantage that this generation has is that there's just more choices that are acceptable. And that's a great thing.
Yeah. And I mentioned this in the last episode about someone asked me what's something you did in your 30s that I would never do now. And I said it was actually something you didn't do. And that was prioritize yourself. And I don't mean health and fitness because she always prioritized that. I mean more so her social life. And can you recall any times where you did prioritize your social life and you had fun?
Yes, Jenny.
Do tell.
Of course, I had fun as an adult with kids. I'll tell you, Uncle Darren and I had a great time. Of course, we were with y'all. We had our kids together.
Okay, you got to take us out. Take us out of the equation.
Okay.
And I think
that's
it's great
tough to do.
I think it's great to be able to get with your friends and
You know
also
what?
have your
I
kids
do
get
too.
together too. But
let me say this.
What?
Now that I'm playing tennis, and I didn't start that till I was 55
Yeah.
because time constraints.
Yeah.
I see young couples with young kids, and they will put the kids in daycare and they will go play tennis.
Yeah.
And I
it's
look at them now
good.
and I say, I'm so glad you're doing that. I see it differently now. But back then, no, I had the guilt. And so it was like when I was not working, I was going to be with my kids.
Well, then what's something for parents of our generation that you would tell them to stop worrying about, that you wish that they didn't feel like they needed to care about so much, or not care about so much, but have so much pressure on them about?
Yeah. Something that keeps them up at night, or and that is trying to fix all of your kids' problems. I think it's okay for your daughter to have a fight with her friend, and you don't need to go and call their mom and see what they said. And all. Now, you do have it a little bit differently because y'all have texting and cell phones and social media. So I think there's a little bit of something that you do need to monitor. I do think you need to monitor
There's
those
a lot
things.
more to monitor. And you
Yes.
say not monitor, but you were all up in my business as a kid.
Well-
you would hold up the phone and put mute on while I was on the phone in the other room and listen to my conversation. So you were...
Okay, what's the difference between that and reading your text? I monitored you like you're going to monitor your kids. Same thing. Let's get back to the question that you asked me, though.
Yeah.
And I also think that whenever a child does run into a roadblock, like let's say, right now I am in the midst of cheerleader tryouts. So I'm experiencing a lot of kids not making a cheer team. And at that point, I don't think the parent needs to necessarily go into the school and talk about how the school was unfair. This was unfair. I think that's a situation for a child to find out what they need to improve on and then fix that situation.
Because you're a cheer
Because I'm a cheer
private coach.
Right. And I'll give you a great example. I have this one girl right now. I'm so proud of her. The ones that impressed me the most are the ones that didn't make it, and they come back the next year and they say, I know what I did wrong and I want to fix it. And this one child, I'm so impressed with her. When she didn't make it, she came back and she said, I asked her, what was the difference? How did you change? Because she had improved herself. And she said, I watched the people who were better than me and I saw that they practiced more. And I realized I had to work harder.
Yeah.
And then she did.
Yeah. You have
And
to
I am
put in the
so
work.
impressed
Yeah.
with her today. So those are the kids that impressed me.
I like that.
Yes.
I like
Now,
that.
do you remember you did not make cheerleader in 10th grade?
Yeah, but do you remember what that was for? Because I had too many detentions.
I do. I know. I wish they would have told you in the beginning.
And she didn't go and fix it for me.
I did not. What did I say when you didn't make it?
I don't remember. What did you say?
I said, we'll try out again next year.
Yeah,
Jenni.
I just had too many.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
And I was your cheer
had too
coach,
many
so I
detentions.
knew how good you were. And then when I did find out you had too many detentions, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm good with
You're
that.
like, checks out.
Yeah. Next time, don't do that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know, there was something that I didn't touch on whenever we were talking about guilt of moms in the 90s. And I was saying, do you feel like they had as much guilt as we do today? But something that we have to deal with that you didn't is seeing all of the things that other moms are doing for their kids on social media, because everybody posts about everything they do. So you see this
I think
mom,
it's terrible.
It's not terrible. Because you have to change your perspective. You have to remind yourself, yeah, no, there's a lot of guilt there. There's a lot of guilt there just because we see what everybody else is doing.
That is very true. Y'all have a different aspect, and I didn't think about that. But your guilt is in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's because it's pushed right out in front of you. Here's what all these people did. I mean, it's just like getting into high school, or I mean, it's, or being a cheerleader or something like that. They put up all these signs outside. Their
I see
yard.
what you're saying. I did not know what you were talking about just
Yeah.
now. You mean like when somebody makes cheerleader and they put out all those like signs saying my kid made cheerleader, which is great.
Or even get into a high school or something.
I know, it's fun. My mom's jealous because she didn't get any of that. That's why. That's why. And let's go ahead and get into our Hot Mama Q&A, because these are the questions that our followers have asked us, our community. And
that have judged me and now canceled me because I put the leash on
they
you
may
and
not
don't
even
feel
be
bad.
listening to this part of the episode because they
I
heard
understand.
that you put me
They
on a
did not
leash.
have a Jenni. They didn't have a
They
Jenni.
didn't.
If they're not listening,
They didn't.
They didn't have a Jenni.
They didn't. Here's the first question.
Okay.
It is, and I can answer this actually. It's, which one of you choreographs all of the dance routines that you do on Instagram? Mama's got the moves. We are very lucky that both
Thank you for the shout out.
photographer and my an assistant that worked for me for about 5 years. Now we work together in a different capacity. She has her own business, and I contract her out to help me with content and to help me with
They're great.
graphics and stuff like that. They're the best.
Well, and they put up
are
with
the
us.
Best.
I mean,
they do, and we have fun together. We're friends now. We're friends, and they are both dance choreographers.
You
Now,
just
there are-
lucked up. You
Yeah,
got
I
lucky.
did luck out. Now, there are times where we have to learn the dance ourselves and we struggle and we fight. And if you were in New York and saw us doing that dance together and me yelling at my mom for messing it up,
She
no, you
did.
didn't.
She did.
You
did.
I was saying like they didn't. It's all
See,
right. You
I
don't get
got
the joke. You don't get the joke.
no.
It's
I'm
fine.
saying
It's fine. That is, anyway, the answer to that is that we have been blessed with friends who help us. And then sometimes we do, and you know which one that we should be very proud of that we learned on our own was that Taylor Swift dance.
We
The one
did.
that went viral.
yeah,
We
the one
learned
we
it on our
practiced in the
own.
hotel. We practiced in the
did.
hotel
We did.
workout room. That was your workout.
Yes. What's some advice that your mom gave you when you were younger and you thought it was silly, but now you appreciate it as you're older?
Yeah. That was, and it's going to go back to a cheerleader example. Is this kind of sad that I'm
Yeah,
62
it
and everything
you
is
still
cheer?
think you're a
But
cheerleader?
it's only because cheer is my life right now due to cheerleader tryouts, and I'm coaching so many girls. But this actually did happen when I was in 5th grade trying out for 6th grade cheerleader. I don't even know if my mother even knew I was trying out, but I tried out and I didn't make it. And when I came home from cheerleader tryouts, I remember going through the garage, opening the door, and Mom was sitting at her sewing machine because she sewed all of our clothes. And she looked at me and she asked me if I made it. And I said, no, I didn't. And her response was, oh, sweetie, I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe you can try out again next year. But now it's time for dinner. Go set the table. I didn't think much of that advice. I went and set the table because that's what she didn't ask me if I wanted to set. No, please note, she did not ask me if I wanted to set the table. She
Yeah.
said, go set the table. And I did. And I didn't realize it then. But as I got older and thought about that advice and thought about as I was doing different things in life, it is no matter what's going on when you don't get something, when things don't turn out your way, you still need to continue doing the mundane, everyday things. You
'Cause life
need
goes
to
on.
continue with life. And then eventually things will get better. But you do not stop. You go
gotta
set the
set the
table
table.
because it's time for dinner.
Yeah.
You have to
I
eat
feel
dinner.
like you've definitely kept that. And that's what I mean by people come to me for solutions because while you heard in the last episode that I do like to recognize the problem. We recognize the problem, validate our feelings, and then to move forward. Shut up.
Do you actually go, okay, now we're going to recognize the problem?
I do. I
And
swear
then then
to
you say, now let's validate.
I do. In fact, I'll tell you a story in the next episode of something that happened to me. I haven't even told you
and
yet.
you'll break it down?
I will break it down of exactly how I
Okay.
processed everything. But yes, people come to me for solutions.
And I don't even think you've had therapy and you're doing that. Have you had therapy?
You know why? I haven't had therapy.
Oh my God, you did survive ADD. You didn't have therapy.
Oh my gosh. I need to
You
go
survived
get some
me.
therapy because you know why?
survived
Because
me.
I like to think that I am actually.
You're above it.
I'm not above
Not above
it.
therapy.
I'm
not
not
above
above it.
therapy, but above anything I could do to you.
Oh yeah. No, I use shopping as my therapy. Mm-hmm.
You do
I
it.
buy
It's just
stuff.
retail. It's just retail.
Retail shopping.
It's a
Retail
different
shopping
type.
is so healing.
Mine is probably working out therapy.
Yeah, you work out. I buy
exercise
stuff.
therapy.
Yeah.
And yours is retail. So there is therapy involved. Okay.
You thought you didn't like therapy. You do.
I do.
You do. But yes, you've definitely lived by go set the table.
Yes.
Or
Let's
setting the table.
Yep.
Lolo really loves a set table too.
And you set a beautiful table.
I
So-
did.
so-
I told you she loves a
There you
set
go.
table. This is our last question from our listeners. And it is, how do you both manage healthy boundaries and such a wonderful close relationship? Your mama is a great
Can we-
role model
Can
for
we toast?
Sure, we can
Let's
toast to
toast
that,
to
but
that.
let me just say that we
gonna drink,
don't
too.
have boundaries. Anybody who does goes to therapy, and you don't believe in therapy. So here we are. No boundaries, and we do not have a perfect relationship. And
We do
anybody
have
who's listening right
boundaries.
now,
We do have
know-
boundaries. We just step over.
Oh,
the
100%.
We keep moving the boundary.
We keep moving the boundaries. Yeah,
We
you do not
reposition-
have to.
we reposition
yeah.
the boundary
I
to
feel like-
fit whatever we need at the moment.
Right. Is it probably important to have boundaries? Sure. But we haven't been to therapy to know what those boundaries are. We don't. There are a few things that I want to tell you before the episode ends, because you like to tell me that I didn't tell you when an event was.
'cause
You
you
like to
don't.
make it up.
Right.
So I've got a list in front of me of
Okay.
all these events coming up, of things that both our listeners can attend, as well as you will be there. You will be there. On Friday, April 17th, we have my Hot Mama Collective
Oh, I love that.
annual Mother's Day luncheon. This is my 5th annual
is.
Mother's Day luncheon. It's so much fun. We have a
You do
DJ.
a great job
There's
with it.
amazing
Everybody loves it.
giveaways.
Great, what are the
VIP bags.
VIP
Yeah,
bags?
and nearly $10,000 worth of giveaways.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I feel like everyone goes away with a prize or something.
They do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have some great merch. I'll have my Hot Mama merch
And
there.
it's just such a great feeling, Jen. I
Well, because
love
we haven't even
seeing.
said we give back to moms in need. We're sitting here
love-
talking about all the
yeah.
good stuff for us, but really it's because
Just-
I started this nonprofit called Hot Mama Collective the year that Brooks was born. And it was because I went through such a challenging time with pregnancy and postpartum that I wanted to create a village for these other moms to have the same experience that I did. Because even though I had such a challenging time, I had all the resources and all the
Yes.
people that I needed.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring women together to be that
You
village
did it.
for other
You
moms
did
in
it.
need. So that's
You
what we
did it.
do
I
at these
know.
events.
Yeah, I'm
Yes. And then
probably my proudest mom moment.
really? I thought
Yeah.
it was the prayers at night with the kids.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Let's go tie.
Tie. Monday, April 27th, we have our Rooted in Motherhood retreat, which is about friendship, combating burnout, and growing your village. And we're even going to record a live podcast. So you will be there again. All things friendship. And that doesn't mean because you don't have friends.
No.
It just means how are we
Friendships
navigating?
change.
They do.
Friendships
Yeah, so we're
change.
going to talk about how to navigate.
I love that.
What's wrong with me?
I
It's
don't
the
know, but
Margaritas
let me talk.
navigate.
Oh my God. Never again will you margarite on a
On a Monday. On Margarita Monday. Wait, we have to get into our Okay, do you have something to say about it?
No. But that is such a great topic because I think as you get older.
So you're so excited. Invite your friends
Yes.
to come to the
Yes.
retreat. In fact, you know what?
Please
I'm
retreat.
sensing something. I feel like you should buy a ticket to the retreat to give away to one of our listeners. Do you want to do that? My mom loves to sponsor
We
things.
can, but
She
can I-
loves to
but can
spend
it-
money. What?
Can we pigeonhole it for those that support me in the lease?
Yes. So
Leash.
anybody who thinks it's okay that she put me on a leash,
Their names will go
their
in
names will be
the hat.
entered.
Yes. I'll do it.
All right.
I'll do it. I need support here,
In
people.
fact, anybody who doesn't cancel her is going to the retreat on her behalf.
I'm thinking Jonah is no longer thinking about it, but I'm thinking he's actually has a plan. I
has a
think he's
plan.
putting the
He has
plan
a
into
plan.
action. Yeah.
And then our last event, you're really going to like this one. It is the Birds and the Bees are coming here to Covington on Wednesday, May 6th. We're going to have Mary Flo Ridley, and the women behind the Birds and the Bees are Mary Flo Ridley and Megan Michelson. And they're going to be talking to us about how to talk to our kids about taboo topics. And when I say taboo topics, they don't want it to be considered taboo to our kids because our kids don't even see it that way.
They don't.
And
If you don't get to them, if you don't get to your kid,
somebody else will. Somebody else is going
will.
to tell the kids. So they help guide parents through these conversations.
Not only parents, Jen, grandparents.
Yes.
I think
And
it's
they
so
make it
important for
fun.
grandparents because I got that question from Beck. So, and I thought I knew how to answer it. And
Oh,
I was
God,
like,
what did you
well,
tell
I don't
him?
even remember. We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about that in another episode.
He'll be
But
answering
you know
how
what?
he survived that.
Going right after this episode, we have the Birds and the Bees. I got to interview them on a podcast to tell people what they can look forward to at this presentation on Wednesday, May 6th here in Covington.
Yeah, I would love to hear that.
And this is not just for moms. This is
No.
for dads. This is for grandparents because this is
dads especially.
This shouldn't only be left on the moms to have these types of conversations
Dads
with their
need
kids.
to be having these conversations with their daughters and their sons. A dad is so influential. So very, very important.
Yeah.
Bring the whole family.
Yeah. Well, I think from this episode.
Okay, that's it.
No,
That's it.
We're not.
You are
We've
lightgait.
literally had.
You are
we've
lightweight.
only
You
had
don't
one
drink.
margarita. Y'all. I mean, Mom. People are gonna. Think, why do these women have microphones talking to us right now when they're sitting here talking about kids on leashes, margaritas? Oh, okay, guys, we are not bad people. Take back the leash right now. Here's your chance to say,
And
You
no,
can
because
dump the
we're doing
leash.
the raffle.
No.
I know. I'm good. I'm determined. You know how you were determined?
Listen, we might be
I am.
canceled after this
right.
episode, but I want to say to everyone that I think that even between our generational differences, what we've learned today is at the end of the day, the thing we care about most is happy and healthy children.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
We're all trying to achieve that.
We are all trying to achieve
We might
that.
go at it different ways. And we don't have a manual. I didn't have a manual that came with
We know you
Jenni
didn't because you put me on a
Papalata
leash.
that was specific for you.
No, and
So it's
all
very
kids are
hard.
different. So any advice that anyone gives you might not work for your kid anyway.
But it's worth opening yourself up to and listening to. So,
Yeah, I think
All
what
right.
we've learned from today
is that we should not drink margaritas.
Is that we should? Yo, we only had one margarita. Don't even
But
judge
we're
us for that.
lightweights. We don't even drink. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's just thank them for staying with us
Well,
today.
let's toast.
Please toast.
Let's
Come back for
toast.
another episode. The next episode is about the birds and the bees. I hope that they are still our friends after hearing this. In fact, look, just for them, do you want to take back the leash yet? I'm giving you so many chances.
Jenni,
All right,
I
fine.
can't do it.
All right, fine.
All right. We're locked in.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us today. We hope that it's not the last time. And please remember that most of the joy you experience in life is often the joy that you choose to see. So get out there, soak up all those moments, and keep showing up as the hot mama you truly are, leash or not. Leash or not.